Hey guys, JK here. Wanted to talk about the upcoming kind of side story event that we're getting and the new free character, as well as the pullable, banner character as well. And we'll just kind of discuss whether or not they're good and worth your resources. So the first unit of note is going to be Kanon, and she's the free main character basically. This is coming from the Reddit, thanks to Sometimes Literate. Excellent work. I'll leave the link in the description. But Canon is going to be pretty decent, although we're going to be limited to just her first job for now. Um, they're calling her a Logia on steroids, although the comparison is a little bit not apples to apples. I mean, they're a little bit different. So, again, she only has one job, which is called Sacred Knight Apprentice, and her skills are pretty decent. Her first skill is going to be called Double Slash, and basically attacks the target twice with an increased chance to critically strike. So, all in all, this is going to be better than your normal attack. I don't know exactly what the multiplier is or how much stronger it is, but it's definitely going to be handy if you have the jewels to spare. It's only one range, one square. In some cases, if you're up against those like ratties or something and you typically only do one damage on them, you can at least get two damage on them, kill them a little bit faster. Sacred Teaching is an active ability which buffs up her light and dark resistance for 3 turns by 20%, which is pretty nice because, as you know, light element units are weak to dark. So if you're able to kind of shore up her weaknesses, she's not going to be as easy to kill. And she also has a Sacred Protection passive down here, which is up to 10% dark resistance. So combined, she can have up to 30%, really kind of shoring up her weak spots. Her Alchemy Burst is an active ability, damage to all foes within 1 square distance of herself. So basically this is good if you're like surrounded or something. Evasive Formation, this would be a nice little lifesaver if you're desperate and need that chance for evasion. So you will sacrifice some defense by 15%, magic and physical, but increase your evasion by 40% for 1 turn. So if you're really in a pinch, this might be the only way for you to survive. So situationally useful. She has a Jewel Recharge Reaction ability, which is basically like Absorb Jewels. Again, I don't really know how the percentages stack up exactly, but any reaction ability that gives you more jewels is fine in my book. I always like having more jewels to use. And then Anti-Alchemy Fighting Technique is her other passive, which gives her up to 20% increased slash damage. So all in all, as far as like her skill sets or whatever, even though she only has one job, she has a pretty nice coverage of what she needs. And then she has the basic skills, which is again her only option right now. It's kind of a mix of the soldier and holy knight, like shield, basic shield kind of abilities. Gives her armor break, which is a 50% chance to reduce target's defense by 30% for 3 turns. With a small amount of damage. Paralyze break inflicts paralysis. Again, I'm assuming there's a chance associated here. First aid, medium self-heal. I believe the soldier first aid would be targetable, so I'm not sure if this is more limited in that way. I'm surprised to be called the same thing, but medium self-heal, always nice to have, especially because it sounds like she's going to be, close up to the enemies and fighting them head on. Charging Break, which is another damage skill and interrupts skill charge. So this sounds like a stun type of ability. 1 range, 1 square. So as you're saying, she's not really like an AoE or ranged attacker, but she does have some ranged abilities with her Gurren Blade. Or she has 1 ranged ability, my bad. So with the Gurren Blade, you get Miracle Cannon Slash, which deals large damage, 170% light damage to a single target. And I believe I saw somewhere that this was ranged, but I'm not seeing it right now. But yeah, I mean, all in all, pretty decent for a free unit, and we're kind of lacking in light element units right now anyway. So if you happen to have a Suzuka, as your lead, you can fill out your light team now with Suzuka, Ryle, Logi, and Kanon. So pretty good, and again, she's not going to be as susceptible to dark element enemies, so I'm going to be very curious to see how good she is. And then the other unit, the new unit, is going to be called Cadanova, and I believe he does have to be pulled. He's a fire unit who's basically like a modified Dragoon, but his job one, in my opinion, is pretty terrible. Okay, so he has the physical damage to one target. He does have 3 range on this one, so this might be a nice go-to. Depending on the jewel count or cost of this, you know, it might be nice to just start off with something like that. Flame Chain, which gives him an odd fire and wind resistance. And I say odd because you would normally want to see like water resistance here. He's just shoring up something that he's neutral against and something he's already strong against in wind, so I'm not really sure why that is. And then he has a damaging ability, Blazing Dragon Strike, that you know, hurts the enemy and also has a 20% physical attack debuff to the foe for 3 turns. Better than your normal attack, but again, not that much special going on with that. That's a 1 range attack. And then Dragon Tooth, he has a jump attack here, which is 4 range, and creates a 1 square plus around target square. So it sounds like a small AoE jump ability, which is kind of cool. We haven't really had that, but you know, it's pretty good, but not like awesome. His third job is going to be Dragon Flame. No, I'm sorry, that's not what it is. His third job is going to be called, what is it? Flame Dragon King. And they're saying it's basically the same thing, but with a few new moves. And he's going to have like more AoE on his jump. It's going to be 2 squares around the target instead of 1. And better stats, of course, and things like that. He's going to have, what is this? His basic command gets a buff to Sky Soaring. Okay, so we need to talk about the basic commands first. Sorry, skipping around a little bit here. So his basic skills, again, really not that crazy good. Blazing Flame buffs his attack by 20% for 3 turns. 20% is not that great, but at least it's 3 turns. Sky Soaring buffs his move by 1 for 3 turns. You know, situationally useful if you need to get out of there somehow. Leader's Roar, chance to taunt enemy, forcing them to attack Cadanova, which is kind of cool. They're saying that the duration and chance is unknown, but it is 5 range, 1 square. Kind of like Saberetta has something like this as well. So yeah, I mean, assuming his defense is pretty good, that might be, you know, nice to kind of take attention off of your more valuable units. But I mean, unless he's like a tank, I'm not like a huge fan of this ability. And then Dragon Ghastly Flame Smash, which is a physical damage that ignores defense, 1 range, 1 square. So kind of like a samurai ability here. A little bit of a mix of a samurai and a dragoon. A little unique, but not really that impressive in my opinion. Okay, so let's see. He gets Stand of the Dragon Slayer, which is a passive, which gives him up to 30% chance to reduce incoming damage by 30%. I'm sorry, that's a reaction ability. So kind of like what you would get on typical tank jobs. He's kind of a mix of things. He's a mix of like a samurai, a dragoon, a little bit of a tank. You know, like not really sure exactly what his role is, but you know, he is a fire unit. We're kind of lacking in those right now, so nice little slot filler there. And his third job sounds like it's going to be a lot better because his, as I mentioned before, his jump's getting a little bit more range, AoE, and you know, just better stats and all that stuff. His recommended job setup is Flame Dragon King, which again is the third job. But if you can't get the third job because, you know, most people aren't going to whale for this unit, you basically just want to replace all this Flame Dragon King stuff with the first job, Dragon Slayer. Those kinds of things instead. And then reactions, Dance of the Flame Dragon. This is the defensive ability. Understanding time and space. Not sure what that is. I don't know if I saw that here. And then his jumper, which is basically the like skydiver type of passive, which gives the jump extra damage. So if you do get the Gurren Blade, he gets Secret Sword of Lotus, which is a 1-use weapon skill, and is a fire damage to single target and raises his own fire resistance for 3 turns. Again, yeah, I don't know why a fire unit is getting all this fire resistance. I mean, you might as well just bring a water unit. Okay, which is kind of what he says here. You could just use a water unit, so I don't know why he's not buffing up his water resistance, but I guess they're not trying to like make him foolproof or whatever. But he has a cool unit, but he's definitely not going to be as good as like Zangetsu or Rosa as far as Dragoons go, because they're skill sets are more like there's more utility, there's better options, and just I feel like there's better synergies and things like that. This is just a grab bag of a random, random classes. So he looks awesome. I actually wouldn't mind pulling him just because I like using different characters, but I'm definitely not going to whale for him, and I don't think that most people should. So yeah, that's Cadanova. I'm sorry if I was just kind of jumping all over the place. And then Canon, of course, is the free units, and for now we only have that one job. So yeah, I mean, I'm always looking forward to new characters. Neither one of these is going to be like meta shift defining or anything like that, but it's always fun to get new stuff. And Canon, you're gonna have to pretty much level her anyway because you're gonna have to bring her along and keep her alive. So I'm assuming. So anyway, hope you guys kind of got some more information off of this. Again, there wasn't really much on the wiki yet, but this was definitely good work done by Sometimes Literate. Thank you for that. And it kind of gives you a sense of what to expect. I would still rather pull like Remy off the banner or any other unit that I'm missing out on, like Shayna. But yeah, if I pulled the Cadanova, I wouldn't complain either. So hope you guys got some info off of this. Let's look forward to this. This is coming in a couple days, and see you guys next time.